Okay, so we have a question from Julie. That's a great name. Since I stopped deadlifting and back squats, only barbell front squats once per week, and turned to double clean and kettlebell clean and press, single snatches, heavy swings, and long cycle, my everyday strength has increased dramatically. For example, carrying my kids, walking up the stairs, bending over to pick up something, and especially my grip strength have been skyrocketing. Somehow, deadlifting 190 was easier than doing 10 minutes of snatches with a 20K bell. I know that the kettlebell community is called the what the heck effect. But is there a proper explanation for this? Is it the kind of muscle fibers, the power training? Why is it easier to pick something up from the floor after being better at snatching than being able to deadlift 190 kilos? That's 418 from my American friends, which I couldn't do anymore right now. Well, the what the heck effect is, you're asking for science on, how did I know you were going to ask that? It's like asking about intuition. Intuition is something that it's happened a few times in my life. I've watched it. I have a funny story. Years ago, my friend Thorin loaned me this thing that allowed me to hang upside down in my old gym in my old basement. But what he didn't tell me was how to get out of it. And since I'm so strong, this is not a good story, I pulled myself up like this and the thing slid around and it cut the ends of both my baby fingers off. And I yelled upstairs and Kelly was just a baby. And I said, Tiffany? And Tiffany said, did you cut your fingers off? And I remember going, how did she know that? They've sewed on. I just can't feel them. So I lifted at the American Open with my grip like this because I still couldn't use those fingers yet. How did she know I'd cut my fingers off? My mom used to say, I always know you guys are doing something wrong. How? I don't hear anything. Oh. So now, is intuition then when you see something often enough that you suddenly go, my spider senses are tingling? No, actually, your brain is going, we've seen this scenario before. This is when the shark shows up in the movie. Okay. The what the heck effect to me is a lot like intuition. It's like, I know it when I see it, but I can't explain it. One of the things that I think you're experiencing, and I know I experienced, I added all that distance to my javelin throw in that one of the first articles I wrote for Dragon Door. There's a picture of me in the ring and the javelin ring judge. Both of us are kind of just like this watching my javelin fly because, I not only did I PR, but I PR'd almost by 70 feet. I mean, I wasn't a very good javelin thrower, that helps. But that thing went a long ways. And obviously I had better coaching. Obviously I was a lot smarter in my training. But also too, I'd started doing kettlebell halos and a whole bunch of other exercises that just really helped me throw the javelin farther. That was my what the heck effect. Well, okay, so let's go look at it. Okay, on the logic side, well, my shoulder mobility improved from the kettlebell halos. All right. Maybe the kettlebell snatches and the style we kettlebell press really helped my shoulder joint stay together a lot better. Maybe all that extra ballistic work grabbing onto the kettlebells, all those swings and snatches, built up my grip. So that, I always tell throwers this is that you want to have a strong grip as a thrower, okay? And Olympic lifter, power lifter, but you don't want to have to actively think about it. So if I need I'll make it up, 100 units of strength to throw the implement far in my grip, and I have 110, I don't have a lot of wiggle room for, road trips, bad motels, bad food, long airplane delays or whatever. But if my grip has 200 units of strength and I only need 100, I can drop, I can have a bad motel night sleep. I can have a bad flight. I can lose my weight on the way to the stadium and still have enough grip power left, neurological strength to whack that javelin shot, disc hammer, or whatever. But on the other hand, man, I just got to tell you, it is I almost feel like I'm talking about the Green Man, Sir Gawain, the Green Knight right now. You know, now the preternatural fog should be drifting into my office. Merlin should be walking in the shadows just out of sight over there. Because sometimes, I tell you, I've had massive personal records. I talk a lot about the one where my clean and jerk personal record was when I walked into the facility at Sports Palace with 270. When I walked out of the facility, it was 303, 15 kilo, 33 pound improvement in one workout. I've thrown the discus so far, sometimes it's just like, obviously it was the training, but where did that come from? I remember lining up in high school football games. We're playing at Oceana, and Calvin was there, who I got to know really well, was the running back. They broke the huddle, and I just knew it was going to be a quick pitch to Calvin. And I hit him in the backfield the second he got the ball. I was making the tackle as he was getting the ball. And I remember thinking, after the game, how did I know that? To me, all that, the intuition, the Merlin in the background, the great white shark in the blue, sometimes things just happen because maybe it's just a coalescing of things, and then for once you allow things to happen, and then of course we get the what the heck effect. It's funny because we've talked about that with intimate relationships too. I'll talk to people who have this complete plan of who they want to marry and all this other stuff, but then you'll talk to married couples about, how did you two meet? And it's always kind of random. It's always kind of accidental. It's always like, I was not interested in, meeting somebody, and what the heck, So I know I didn't answer the question. I know that. I didn't answer the question because I'm not sure what the heck effect is, but I've seen it. I've seen babies smile. I've seen the what the heck effect. I held someone's hand while they died. You see things in life, and sometimes you just can't explain everything else that's going on. I hope that helped. Thank you, Julian. Good question.